Welcome back to the Roundtable. We are taking a break, much like Severance took a break, much like Silo has taken a break. We also are taking a season break because we have no TV to talk about right now. Possibly we might be able to get into the Wheel of Time. I think you mentioned Templar 10 that you were reading the Wheel of Time, which is dope, and watching the Wheel of Time. So we might be able to dive into that a little bit later. I think we might be able to dive into some Ubisoft stuff. I don't know if you've seen the latest news coming from Ubisoft, but they are divesting and allowing Tencent to buy a bunch of their stuff, which I think is an interesting move. Essentially, they are letting Tencent strip mine their assets. Yep. Yeah. And so this is how it works, right? This is capitalism. Big companies come in, they strip mine, they fire off what they don't need, and they dump all the debt onto the stuff they don't need, and then new company.
I guess so. I mean, Ubisoft, I think, largely brought it on themselves, but that's a bigger conversation we could potentially have if you want to have it.
I would love to. I would love to track that.
Do I feel bad for the people at Ubisoft who will be negatively affected? Yes. Like, at least some of the people at Ubisoft who will be negatively affected? Yes. Do I feel bad for all of the people at Ubisoft who will be negatively affected? No, I do not.
No. Not at all.
Not even. They brought it on them. I think they brought it on themselves based on some of their very poor decision making over an extended period of time.
Yes, and as of the moment, and we're not talking Ubisoft right now. As the moment of this recording, however, Assassin's Creed Shadows has sold better than it has sold double what analysts expected, which I think is fascinating, and also is being widely panned. So there's this weird dichotomy happening right now.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to know. It's become one of those it's one of those topics almost to the degree of politics that's like whatever I read about it, I don't know what the bias is, and that will be determining what they're saying about it more likely. So I have a hard time believing. Like, I saw something saying that the reviews were pretty positive on Steam, and that the reviews I think are very positive. And then when I went on Steam and read the reviews, even if they were thumbs up, the reviews themselves were not glowing.
Right.
Like, even if they gave it a thumbs up, it was kind of like, it's fine, or like, it has a lot of problems, or like, I don't mind it, it's not as bad as people said, or like stuff like that, which isn't exactly like
could be worse
reviews.
It could be worse. Sure. But we're not here to talk about that video game specifically. We are embarking.
Well, we are going to be talking about that franchise, though.
That's true. Yes, you are.
See what I did there,
man. You're on it, dude. Yeah, I know you're sick, but like, you still got the mental acuity there. We are embarking on what we are. I think this is kind of like a roundtable tradition for us. We are doing essentially a bracket challenge. Now, we started this a couple of years ago when we started off the roundtable. Right around this time, if you're not from the United States, right around this time of year, we have something called March Madness, where essentially 68 college basketball teams get together and play in a tournament to decide who's the best college basketball team in the land. And it is called March Madness, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of basketball, and if you like basketball, it's great. Even if you don't like basketball, it's fun to just get caught up in a lot of it because it's pretty rapid fire, especially the brackets themselves. And so we co-opted that into the roundtable, and we started our own bracket challenge. And we are now, this is our fourth bracket, is that correct? Fourth. Yep. So walk us through, Templar. You were actually the brainchild of this one initially, and you have done a lot of heavy lifting on all this. So walk us through kind of the first three brackets and how we got to where we are today before we introduce our brand new bracket.
Sure. So bracket 1 was our animated movie bracket, which was back in season 1, 22?
Yes, 22.
2022. Season 1 of the Roundtable, when there was 4 of us. Shout out Nav and Pastor Mark.
Rip. They're still alive. They're still alive.
They're fine. And we did an animated movie bracket, and just Ted thought it would be a fun way to get some engagement with the server. We have a nerdy community. People have lots of opinions about animated movies and all sorts of different topics, games and films and stuff. So we thought it would be something fun to engage with people, and we got a good reaction to it.
Yeah.
Good response to it. If you want to dig back through the archives, you could probably find the results for that there. If you would like to avoid spoilers, then, maybe jump ahead 10 seconds here. it was the Lion King that ended up winning that bracket.
That was a
then
pregnant pause.
Well, hey, I'm just giving an opportunity if people didn't want to hear.
No, it's great.
What the results were. If anyone wants to dive back into the deep lore of the Roundtable, all the way back in season 1.
Yeah.
And then season 2 was in a lot of ways a kind of bracket sort of season.
Yes.
So we spent a lot of time on it. We did do other things as well. Our first one was on video game characters, and we started with, I think we did 64.
Yeah, we did 64.
And moved our way down. And again, if you don't want to be spoiled, Link won that one. Again, good engagement with the community. And then we got a little ambitious, maybe a little bit overly
Crazy.
ambitious, a little, big for our britches.
Crazy.
I kind of shot for the moon, and we got there. We decided we did our movie superhero film bracket, and that one we did 128.
Yes.
Movies.
Yes, we did.
432
432 team brackets. Yeah.
Yeah, 432 team brackets to get down to the final 32. We did a Marvel bracket, like Marvel non-MCU bracket. We did an MCU bracket, a sort of miscellaneous kind of catch-all bracket. We called it the Dark Horse bracket, I believe.
Yes.
Which had some actual Dark Horse stuff in it, and then some other things that just didn't fit, like Ninja Turtles and that. If they are actually Dark Horse, don't come from me. I don't know. And then we had our DC bracket. And then it was great. And I definitely enjoyed it. It was a lot of work. It went on for like 3.5 months, I think, to get down. Like we started in September or something.
Yes.
Maybe my math isn't going to work here, but it ended around Christmas. Like it went all the way through the fall into the winter last year. And it was great. But Chino and I also had a stream where we ranked each of the films, because we decided on the tier ranking of them, like how it would be 1 through 32. So how we do the matchups for each. And by the time we got to the end, we had talked about all the movies so much, we kind of had nothing left to say about them. Yep. But anyway, it was another great thing for the community. And again, if you don't want to be spoiled, Into the Spider-Verse one in the end. And that brings us to season 3, of the Roundtable. Getting ahead of myself. Where we're doing something a little more straightforward. Mm-hmm. We're doing something a little less like upfront heavy in terms of having to go through and tier list everything ourselves and do all this stuff. And one thing we haven't dove into yet is franchises.
Right.
So we decided we've done characters, we've done animated movies, we did superhero movies. So now we're going to do video game franchise, which is why I mentioned before that we're going to be talking about Assassin's Creed, because it's on the list. Mm-hmm. So this was just taken straight from Wikipedia. So the top 32 highest grossing video game franchises of all time.
Right.
There was a couple executive decisions made in terms of what ended up on the list, because something like Minecraft is technically in the top 32, but we didn't consider individual games as a franchise. Tetris would also fall into that category, and I know there's different versions of Tetris, but like Tetris is kind of one game. And again, if you don't come for me, it's not. I don't think it's sufficiently different to call it a franchise.
No, it's not.
So if someone wants to dig in their heels on that hill, by all means. And then there was a couple of things like the Wii universe of games. Mm-hmm. That's not really a franchise.
Wii Sports, Wii Fit, we play, we party, stuff like that.
There was like 15 of them, and that's not really it's not really collected enough that we considered it a franchise. So that's not on there. And then also it had Tom Clancy in general, which included like Rainbow Six, Division, Siege, and a couple other things all together. And to me, those are their own franchises. They're not one franchise. So if you go look at the list yourself, it's on Wikipedia, and you wonder why a couple things aren't on it, it was just because of those types of decisions. So we took it straight from there. So number 1 is the highest grossing. Number 32 is the lowest grossing that made the list. It's 1 versus 32, 2 versus 31, so on and so forth, all the way through. And that's what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, and so typically what we do, if you've never been a part of one of these roundtable brackets, is Templar does a lot of the heavy lifting because he's good like that, meaning he he sets up the survey, and I'm assuming he takes the survey as well. Survey, he votes for whatever he wants to vote for.
I haven't actually done it yet. I didn't
look
like I created it, but I kind of just left it because I wanted to give it enough time that when we looked at it now, the matchups even might be a little bit fresh. So, you know, I was a little more surprised. Yeah. Not completely, because I created it, but, you know, it's been a few days since I looked. I don't remember every matchup, so just to kind of look through it and see. So
Templar's turned a new leaf, guys. This is great. He's growing. He's sick, but he's growing. So the typically, again, if Templar has voted for it, it doesn't matter, but I will be screen sharing and I will be live voting. All of these will be my votes. I am open to be swayed, but this is my votes for my things. You yourself watching this or listening to this, whatever you're doing, so in typical Roundtable fashion now, during the live voting, you will also have a chance to vote along live with us. This is particularly something we do for our Discord community. You can jump into our Discord community. We've got like 1,000 people of just awesome, crazy, fun times over at Lux Digital Church. You can go to luxdigitalchurch.com and click the Discord link. You can go to discord.gg/luxdigitalchurch. You can click the links in the doodly doos below. There's 15,000 ways to get there. You will have live results or like up to date results in that Discord community. Here on YouTube, this video is going to be posted on March 29th. You will have until April 5th to do all those other things. Now, if you're watching this on demand after those days, sorry, suckers. There will be a link there, but it's going to be a dead link.
You can see the results.
Yeah, deal with it. Until then, before I click this button, and anything else, any other ground rules I need to lay, Templar?
Nah, let's get into it. We're good to go.
All right. Number 1 versus number 32. Again, this list is not from us, so please do not flame us. I mean, you can flame us. That's fine. Like, that's what the comments are for. But this list is not ours. We did not vote for Mario number 1 and Super Smash Brothers number 32. Also, I know that there might be a little bit of consternation that says Super Smash Brothers and Mario are coming from the same franchise, much like the Tom Clancy's things. But I would say that there is a complete distinguishing and distinct difference between what Tom Clancy and the Wikipedia thing was grabbing Rainbow Siege, or actually Rainbow Six Siege, all of the Rainbow Six stuff, all of the Division stuff, all of like the Ghost Recon stuff, and lumping it into one. This is breaking those things apart. And also, like, to be a franchise, do you have to have the same type of game? I guess that's a question I've never asked, because Smash is a fighting game and Mario's a platformer.
Yeah, I mean, Smash Bros. Is just a different Nintendo thing. Like, Mario's a part of it, but like, to me, if you're going to say they're the same, it's like, that's like saying Donkey Kong is, like, as a franchise is the same. It's not. Yeah. Like, he's just in Super Smash Brothers as well. They're separate. Like, Pikachu is in Super Smash Brothers, but it's not the same franchise as Pokemon, right?
Great.
So,
great.
It's fine. So, like, the Mario franchise, so all of the Mario games from the beginning up until current day, and then Super Smash Brothers franchise from the 64, right?
Yep.
Till whatever the newest one is. The best one was Melee anyway, so who cares? But
it's okay. That's you can go back in the actually in this season we debated that, and I pulled a short from that. Okay, so we are then. This is a personal vote. This is just your favorite out of these. That's all we're doing. We're just voting on what we would vote for as our top. And for me, it's got to be Mario. It just has to be Mario. That would be my number 1 vote. Do you agree or disagree with my vote before I move on?
It's a tough one, man.
It is.
Because, I mean, Mario's got a ton of nostalgia. As has been established historically, I'm not the biggest Nintendo guy. I'm not really a Nintendo guy now. Mm-hmm. But obviously, I grew up playing. I had a Nintendo. I had an NES. I had a Super Nintendo. So I played a lot of the old Mario games, but then also like junior high, like N64, Super Smash Bros. Was my stuff. Like I've talked about my love for Melee. I played that one a ton. I played Brawl and I liked it. Like I played some of the newer ones as well and enjoyed them. Because they're so different. But I've had so much fun playing together with people with Super Smash Bros. So like the fun I've had with that probably overshadows Mario for me, like just based on my own criteria. Like I assume Mario is going to crush this matchup just because it's Mario, but man, Super Smash Brothers is just, I don't know,
I
special to me.
I get it. My rebuttal is that Mario is the progenitor of. There's a reason it's the top grossing thing. It's the progenitor of essentially modern video games.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
And the Mario franchise, even from, it's always been 2D. I think Super Mario World it's a top 3 game of all time, at least in my book. Maybe a top 5 game of all time in my book. It is as close to being a perfect video game as you can get. And that's saying a lot because, there are a lot of really good video games out there. It's just fantastic. And then when they start making the switch to Mario 64, 3D Marios, I'm not the biggest fan of the 3D Marios, but they are very good. Mario Odyssey on Switch was very good. Yeah. Mario 64 is very
Odyssey.
good.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It was, they do a good job. They know what they have. They do a good job. They put out some clangers, but by and large, the Mario thing, Super Smash, in my opinion, has probably 2 really good. Melee is good, and then I really like the newest one. I really like the Switch version. I know it's the canonically it's like all the characters are here, but it's really good.
I only played it a little bit, but yeah, it was fine. The original one would probably be rough to go back to now, but certainly a lot of nostalgia.
Yes. All right, we're gonna move on. Also, I like the fact that when you did this, you put this all on one page. That's pretty cool. I'm a fan of that. Makes it a little easier. Call of Duty versus Dragon Ball. I'm going to be honest. I think this has got to be Call of Duty. I only really played Dragon Ball Z Strikers, the fighting game. And there was another one on Super Nintendo.
Budokai. I think it was called Dragon Ball Z Budokai.
Yes, that right there.
Which I think it might have been for PlayStation or PS2.
Maybe. It was kind of like open world E. Is that the one you're thinking of?
Maybe it might have been a sequel, like Budokai 2, or like one of the... Because I think it was on like the PS2 that I played it. I played that one a lot. I haven't played any of the other ones enough to really have a ton to say about them. And even though Call of Duty has become maybe kind of somewhat of a shadow of its sort of former self, or at least it seems like the innovation isn't really what it was, or that sort of thing. Or maybe it's just that they've been making them so long. There's just so much that it's gonna really feel like, or so much that's gonna be new about it. But yeah, I think COD. I mean, in terms of hours put in, I mean, this isn't even remotely close.
Yes. And
so,
also that the very first time that you look back at that in that is it Modern Warfare or Modern Warfare 2, where you look back out of that helicopter and the atomic bomb goes off, and that's like the opening scene. That's pretty breathtaking.
Oh yeah, cinematic. Yeah, some of the old single player games was really good.
Yeah,
the first Black Ops I played so much. Oh man,
that was the Vietnam one. Is that the first Black Ops? Yeah, that was a good one. Pokemon versus Just Dance. Really,
this whole matchup's just a womp for me.
Yeah,
like I know some people are huge Pokemon fans, and like I had Red and Blue back in the day.
Sure. Everybody did.
Had some cards back in the day. I have some attachment. There was a time when I knew the whole like original 100 and whatever there were.
151.
Or there was a point in time when I knew all of them. But like I just never kept up with it. And then Just Dance was something I did a little bit, but never really was my thing either. So like it's kind of a want one. I would go with Pokemon, I think, just because it's it's iconic, and I did put some time into it, and I do have some nostalgia for it.
Yeah. GTA versus Halo. This was my first one. I looked at these. I didn't vote for these. I looked at these, and okay. So if you don't know any Roundtable lore, I, Chino Mage, am a Halo stan. I played competitive Halo from Halo 1 Combat Evolved and Halo 2 up into Halo 3. I was MLG. Our team was MLG ranked for Halo 2 and Halo 3. If you don't know what MLG is, I don't actually know if MLG is around or if it got folded into one of the other numerous organizations, but MLG was Major League Gaming. It was really what propelled a lot of the initial esports outside of StarCraft. It was the first person shooter kind of thing. And it's turned into all the other various and sundry things now, but Halo itself has just such a gigantic place in my heart for that. Halo 4 and Halo 5. 5 was okay. Halo 4 in particular really kind of sucked, but you've also got Reach in there, which is just, it is so good. Like
Reach is my favorite Halo game.
That's a hot take. Really?
I mean, it's been a while since I played like 1, 2, and 3, so I'll say that. I've played Reach like semi recently, so like maybe that's just that. But I always loved Reach. I always thought it was great.
It's awesome.
And Halo, it's between that or that and Halo 3.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be those two. It would be those two.
Yeah, and right? Halo 3 still holds up. I know Halo 2 is kind of blocky and looks bad, but Halo 3, even outside of the Master Chief Collection, it still holds up. The idea of finishing the fight, the very last scene where you're sailing off into space, like there's just such a not even nostalgia there. GTA though, like I know GTA 5 is this just juggernaut that's never going to go away. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't really like GTA 5 that much as a game, as a single player game. I did like GTA 4. I loved the rags to riches Russian dude story.
Yeah, honestly, the same. Like that was going to be my take. That, well, I have a broader take that I'm just not that into the GTA franchise in general. Mm-hmm. Like I played them, like I played back in like the top down.
Yeah, dude.
One, like back in the day on PC, and like I don't know if I played 3 or San Andreas. I think I played one of them, and then I played GTA 4, which I agree. I really like GTA 4. In 5, I could just never get into. I tried a couple times to play it, and it just never grabbed me. The online never interested me.
Yep.
And so, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how this would go. I would assume GTA would probably win, but like for me, it's going to be Halo. Like, I have a much greater attachment to the Halo franchise than I do to the GTA franchise.
I agree. I don't mind telling the community come out here and stuff the ballot box for Halo to get GTA out of there. I mean,
just the fact that, like, you know, me who remembers nothing of my life have like vivid memories of like the first time I went and bought like Jolt Cola.
Yes.
Or like, do you remember Ball's energy drink?
Yes, blue, I do.
Like dimpled glass bottles.
Yep.
Like, and bring them back to the house to get like, we'd set up 3 different TVs and people would bring their Xboxes over. I never even had an Xbox, but we would just have it at my house.
Yep.
And people would bring it over and we'd play like Blood Gulch. Yep. Like, and we just do it all night. Like, guys drinking an entire 12-pack of Coke.
Yep.
Just like, those, I don't, for someone who remembers nothing, I vividly remember those nights. And like, those are like nostalgia. I mean, I've already mentioned nostalgia a couple of times. And I think with some of these franchises, it's there. Like those, like 12 guys getting together, playing Halo. Like,
it's nothing like it. There really isn't.
I don't know, man. It was something.
Yeah.
It was something, and just not. You know,
I feel bad.
I hate to be that guy, being like back in my day, but
no. We did the same thing.
There's no equivalent. There's no equivalent now.
When we were training for like competitions, it was a little more like the 4 of us versus probably like we would get 12 to 16 people. We'd network all of our things in different rooms of just some really cheap house, like crack house type thing, which is where we lived in Tallahassee at the time. But when we were training, it was like, yo, you guys are going to come after us. It would be 8-on-4, 12-on-4, that type of thing. But when it was just like, hey, we're going to have fun, dude, it was that like, I feel bad for my kids' generation right now. It's awesome that you can play a game with anybody like that. Just doesn't matter where they are in the world. Like last night I was playing World of Warcraft, classic hardcore. Yes. I got sucked back in. You can hide your face. It's fine. I was playing legitimately with people from all over. Like I was partying up with people from Pennsylvania and, you know, wherever across the country. And that's cool. But like, there's something missing about that. Like, hey, dudes just like hammering down Cokes and pizza and like yelling, playing Blood Gulch, like Blood Gulch, Capture the Flag, Snipers, like that. You can play that game forever. I don't think that game ever ends. Like it just doesn't.
So has there ever been a franchise that has had more quote unquote killers? Where some franchise will come along and
Halo
like,
killer?
This is the Halo killer. Because I can think of Red Faction. You remember Red Faction?
Oh yeah,
because that was the Halo
everything.
Killer for a second.
Yep.
Yeah, which was cool. You could tunnel like the original one. It had a basically their Blood Gulch. They didn't. Yeah. It was called something else, but it was Blood Gulch.
Yeah.
And you could actually tunnel all the way from one all the way around to the other one. Mm-hmm. There was a cap on how much stuff could be destroyed, though. So like,
it's because the memory couldn't hold it.
Yeah, because it was old enough.
Yeah.
But there was that. There was Killzone,
Oh, dude, Killzone on PlayStation.
Which was like the PlayStation like Halo killer, Halo competition, whatever. And there had to be more, I think, too.
I mean, Call of Duty technically, when Call of Duty dropped, it was obviously World War II, and so it was Call of Duty 1 and 2 were fighting Medal of Honor, and Medal of Honor sucked. Outside of you like reenacting the Saving Private Ryan scene from the very beginning.
Whoa! Let's chill, Chino.
Hold on, Medal of Honor was not terrible. Medal of Honor. Outside of that first 20 minutes, just like Saving Private Ryan, where all they did was they just replaced Upham with you. Sure. It was a inferior game. Medal of Honor was compared to Call of Duty.
It was for sure. But I have some fond memories of Medal of Honor.
Sure. I do too. But the core of that was Call of Duty. Then when Call of Duty evolved into COD 4. I remember hearing, because that was like 2005, 2006, around there. They were trying 2007 maybe. They were trying to be a Halo killer in the multiplayer genre, and to be honest, they formed their own multiplayer thing, and that's fine. Because Halos has always been, outside of 4 and 5, Halos has always been a little slower, a little more methodical, a little more tactical. Call of Duty has just been like, hey man, go drink this Red Bull and get a shotgun. Like that was Call of Duty online.
I mean, that was me. Like, I am that guy with the shotgun. I'm the guy. Yeah, that's me. That's me, man. If we're playing Shipment, I got a ballistic shield on my back. I got the hip fire shotgun, and I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
That's me. So,
it's okay if your KD's like, it's 3-1. That's fine. If your KD is like above 1, you're good, man. You're good. You're winning.
It doesn't matter if it's below 1. I'm having a good time. Whenever I come around a corner and just get that bah and just like down, it's just dopamine, man.
Yeah.
Like, what can I say? It just feels so good.
Your target reticle is like half the size of your screen. Absolutely.
That's it. The hip fire. You throw one of those like 5W lasers on there.
Yeah.
Just like the longest barrel you can. Just like everything. Yeah. Just so I never have to actually aim down the sight ever. It would take 30 seconds to do so if I tried anyway. Like, we just roll that. We roll with that thing, my guy. That's
man,
me.
I'm getting a lot of insight into you tonight. Smash, 12 packs of Coke, and hip fire in the shotgun. Yep.
That was always me. Even something funny. I'm thinking of like Battlefield, like 2142.
The modern one.
You remember that one?
Oh yeah.
The like future one where you had like active camo and stuff.
Yeah, it was trying to be Halo.
Even something like that. So anyway, we've spent a lot of time on this one, but there's a lot of, like, I've said the word nostalgia a lot, but like some of these, it's unavoidable, and Halo is one of those ones. It's just unavoidable.
Halo's the right pick, audience. If you're watching Halo, wherever you're watching from, Halo. We're moving to FIFA and Animal Crossing.
Yawn, pass.
Yeah, you have to vote. I'm going to vote for FIFA because I really only ever got into one Animal Crossing, and that was during the pandemic. I never got Animal Crossing. Honestly,
I played the Switch one for a bit again during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I had I had an okay time with it, but like I wasn't that into it, but it passed some time for a little while. No. And I have played a few of the FIFA games and have had some fun with them. Mm-hmm. There's quite a few sports games on this list, and my feelings about basically all of them are the same. So like I just don't know. Whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, FIFA. That's my vote. Lego versus Mortal. Go ahead.
FIFA's just a money printer.
Now it is with all the cards and stuff. Yeah, it's a shame they killed my boy. Because FIFA used to be good. FIFA 14, 15, 16 was real good. Those games were real good. All right, so Lego versus Mortal Kombat. This is an interesting one too because Lego is okay. I'm gonna go with this like comparison right now. Lego is like Super Smash Brothers. Kind of formulaic, like you know what you're getting, you know what type of game you're getting, but Lego has evolved, kind of like Smash has evolved. Smash started with 8 characters, and now it's got 1,015 characters. Lego started with, I don't even know the very first Lego game. It's probably something Lego Star Wars, maybe.
Star Wars, yeah, I would guess, yeah.
And we played the heck out of those games, especially with my kids on the Wii. Those games were great, but they're pretty formulaic. But then they've evolved. The Indiana Jones one is good. A lot of like the Marvel stuff is really good. The newest Star Wars collection is like really, really good.
Horizon Zero Dawn, that one did well.
Yeah. How long? Oh, yes, it did. It did so
didn't
well.
do well for anyone who's not sure.
For everyone who couldn't see this, the slash S.
It sold like 3 copies.
Yeah,
It did horrible.
And it was all
tanked colossally.
Yeah, it was all to like the designers' moms. But like by and large, Lego has the Batman. Lego Batman is also really good. The Lego movie games are really good. I don't know. They have franchise power, much like Smash has franchise power. Mortal Kombat, I have very fond memories of Mortal Kombat 2 and Mortal Kombat 3 from being in arcades right around the time I was, in arcade. But also, we would get done playing hockey, and they had these cabinets out in front of the hockey arena. And so we would just slam quarters in and play Molina and taking it home, playing Mortal Kombat on the Genesis or on the Super Nintendo. Genesis had blood. Super Nintendo had the green ichor, which was not blood. I learned all the fatalities, all the babalities, all those everythings from Mortal Kombat 2 and 3. But I lost it after that. Like maybe I'm not a fighting game guy. I keep trampling over you. What are your thoughts?
No, I didn't do the arcade. The arcades were never really my thing, like a little bit, but not really. But I'm with you in that it was Sega. It was Genesis for me. Mm-hmm. I think it was Mortal Kombat 2, but again, that's not. It's been a long time, so I'm not sure. But yeah, I did play a fair bit of one on the Genesis. I think it was the second one.
Yeah.
And so I had a bit of an attachment there. And then I have sort of dabbled over the years, like, if something was on PlayStation Plus, like as a free game or something to download and check out, like I might try it. I think I played 10 a little bit.
X. Yeah.
X, yeah. And I played a decent amount with some buddies, I think in college, of
8
Mortal Kombat versus DC.
Oh, yeah.
Which is sort of, I don't know if it's sort of pseudo in this franchise. I think it's made by the studio that made the Mortal Kombat game.
Another realm.
So it's sort of like half in the franchise, maybe.
Yeah.
And I played that one a fair bit. I would probably go with Mortal Kombat, but that's more just because I think I played one Lego game for 20 minutes, and that's it. So I just have no.
Yeah.
I maybe played a bit of a Star Wars one, and then maybe a bit of a Batman one at one point or something, but I don't remember much of it. So I think I would have to go with Mortal Kombat just because I have a bit of an attachment and not with Lego. Yeah.
This is going to be the first one we diverge in just because I have played a lot of them. And again, that's if you go back in previous roundtables, enough of my voting is swayed by stuff I've done with my kids, movies I've watched with them, games I've played with them. Sure. And that's Lego. Also, legitimately, I think some of the Lego stuff is very, very good.
Sure, I've heard good things. Yeah.
So the Lego movie, it's
great.
It's great. It is a fantastic movie. Lego, even the second one, and especially the Batman one, just good movies.
The Lego Batman one's great. I never saw the second just Lego movie, but the Lego Batman movie is awesome.
Lego Movie 2 was kind of more of the same, kind of the same jokes and breaking the fifth wall type stuff, or breaking the fourth wall stuff, but it was good. The games do that, and I think the games have license to do that. And so, I don't know. I'll be interested to see what happens with this matchup. I don't foresee Lego going far, just because Mortal Kombat is kind of a juggernaut, just because of cachet alone. But I don't know. We'll see. Other things have surprised me more than that. The Sims vs. Dragon Quest.
I have no experience with the Dragon Quest franchise, so I can't. And I used to play The Sims actually a fair bit. Sims, I want to say 1, 2, 3. I actually played quite a bit of them.
Yeah.
So it's been a second, but at one point I'd played it quite a bit. So I would go with The Sims. They were pretty fun for their time. I enjoyed them, and I don't think I've ever played a Dragon Quest game. So
I've played 2 Dragon Quest games. I played 9, and then I played 10 or 11, whatever the one that was on Game Pass. And I like Dragon Quest. I'm more of a Final Fantasy JRPG. I'm a basic JRPG girl, I guess.
Sure.
Sure. That's not true. I like, Chrono Trigger is my all-time favorite. But so I'm gonna go with The Sims. I played the heck out of Sims 3. It lived on my PC for a long time. I used to do, and this is kind of morbid, but I would do the death challenges to see like if I could trap them in a room and have them like electrify themselves and do all that. It was fun. It was just, they know what they do. They know what they did. Okay, Assassin's Creed versus Battlefield. This to me is an easy Assassin's Creed win, but talk me off the ledge. Why do you think Battlefield should win this?
Are you assuming I think Battlefield should win?
I know
this is a real struggle for me.
Oh, really? Because I thought your hatred for Assassin's Creed would win out over everything. Because
I don't hate Assassin's Creed. I love Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed at one point in time was my favorite franchise, or one of them.
Really? Did not know that.
Mass Effect has been my favorite franchise since I played Mass Effect. So I guess I can't say that. But at various points, it's been like for a while I played all of them. Like I played 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelation, 3, which I liked, and a lot of people didn't like 3.
No.
I liked 3. Yeah, I had a good time with it. Black Flag, which is like the only one I think I ever got 100% on.
Yep.
Did everything, loved that game. Apparently they're doing a remake,
yes,
which
they are.
If they don't mess with it, I'm in on that if they don't mess with it.
Yep.
Even Unity, like I played Unity I think a year after it came out, so they had patched most of the bugs and had a good time with it. And then I think I kind of got out. Like I played a bit of Rogue, but I didn't finish it. I didn't play the one in London during like the
Syndicate was awesome.
Syndicate, yeah, or I played like a bit, but I never had it. I think a buddy of mine had it. And then I played a bit of the new ones, or like I played Odyssey, beat the campaign, but there's so much stuff in that game. And I started playing some of the DLC, and it just went on forever.
Yep.
I started Valhalla, and I had a pretty good time with it. But I mean, at that point, it's just not really an Assassin's Creed game.
Yep.
It's just kind of like you're just like a Viking or something, and
yes, that's
cool. Like it's a pretty fun game, but I don't know if I view it. But Battlefield 1942.
Yep.
Like again, I'm invoking nostalgia a lot here.
Yep.
I went to internet cafes, which like I'm dating myself with that.
Whoa.
Like I remember going to internet cafes, getting like a Balls energy drink from the cooler at the back, sitting down and playing Battlefield 1942 with some of my buddies.
Whoa.
Like that is like such a memory. Like we would play that, and we would play like Battle for Middle Earth 2, the RTS game.
Dude, that game was awesome. That game ripped.
Rise of the Witch King. It was so good. Oh man, I remember playing 1942 was so good. I loved Battlefield 2142 as well.
Yeah.
I played a ton of that one.
Yeah.
And then I didn't play a lot of them after that. Like I never played like 3 and 4, which that much, or I played a bit of 4, but I know people really loved them.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess my time with Battlefield was probably less than Assassin's Creed, but like Assassin's Creed kind of fell off in a way that like, I mean, Battlefield, I guess 2042 wasn't very good, but generally the quality of the Battlefield franchise. Oh, I'm forgetting Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5. Battlefield 1 is incredible.
Yes, it is. It is.
Battlefield 5 was pretty good. Battlefield 5 was pretty good too. Like
I never played much of 5. Battlefield 1 was really good.
So good.
Huh.
This is genuinely tough for me. I mean, I know this is already a long episode, and we still have quite a few matchups to go through.
Yeah, so we got to crush. We got to crush through this one too. I
don't know.
I'm going to go Assassin's Creed, and the only reason I'm going to go through Assassin's Creed. AC1 was fine. For what it was revolutionary as to what it was trying to do.
Okay. 2 was a huge step up.
2 was amazing. 2 is in my top 10 of all-time favorite games. It is.
Great game.
It's funny. It's irreverent. That the combat, the movement, all of it was great. Even Syndicate was the first time you got to play with really 2 characters. You got to play with Jacob and Evie, like a brother and sister, and the way they did stuff, the way they kind of interacted was so good. I really liked Origins. Which was the one in Egypt. Odyssey was...
Yeah, I never played Origins.
Origins was really, really good. Odyssey was too long. And then Valhalla I never finished. Like I fell off. I am going to play Shadows at some point. Because
I'm
going to wait till it's on sale inevitably in a month. Because it'll be on 50% sale in a month or whatever. So I'm going with AC. Battlefield's great.
I'll probably end up Yeah, I'll probably end up going with AC as well, but I do have some real fond memories of Battlefield that will be tough. I played so much 1942. Anyway, I know we got to move on, so
Yeah.
it's fine. But
Is this one even a contest?
No, I played a bit of Gran Turismo back in the day and had some fun with it, but Final Fantasy that was, I never played 7, but like 9 was the big one for me. 9 and 10 were the two big ones for me.
And 11 and 14 for me. 11, I poop socked so much of the MMO. 11, years of that. Years before WoW. I know. But even I'm a huge fan. Like my favorite Final Fantasy is 6. Like I know that might seem hipster.
I never played any of the earlier ones. I've never played any of the like pre-7 ones.
3D. 6 is so good, man. The story is so good. It's very, very good. Sonic vs. Borderlands, again, is this even a contest?
I feel like people. I mean, I guess
there's two people I can think of.
I feel like the charm has worn off of Borderlands, I guess, but I feel like at least for a time, the hype was
1 and 2.
There was a lot of love for 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I never really played them. I played one of them very briefly and never really got into it. And Sonic, like I had a Genesis and I played a ton of Sonic, and I had a Game Gear and played a ton of that. So,
ooh, Sonic 2 on the Game Gear? Heck yeah.
So, definitely Sonic. Really enjoyed that. I tried to play it because I still had my Game Gear until relatively recently, and I sold it. But I tried to play it, and I just couldn't.
You're too old.
It was too fast.
Yeah, you're too old.
Like I couldn't. Yeah, I'm too old for it. Yeah. Like genuinely, it was like a real feels bad moment.
Yeah. And plus, you had to put 17 batteries in the back of that Game Gear to get it to work. So maybe that was why.
You got to stack that thing, that's for sure.
And it only lasts half an hour. Zelda's going to be the winner here. I don't even understand how Harry Potter snuck in here, if I'm being honest.
They've made a lot of games, and some of them have done pretty well. So, I mean, it's based on gross, not on like quality of games, right? Like,
yeah, that's true.
And again, like some of them I think have been okay. I never played that many. I played a bit of Legacy, and I quit. And I think I probably played 1 or 2 of the other ones, like maybe on PS2 or something when I was younger, but I have no real affinity. And even though like this one's tough because like just based on playtime, I'd probably have to go with Wizarding World here.
Wow.
Because like we've talked about it, like I've just never been a Zelda.
Yeah.
Like the one I've played the most is Breath of the Wild, which I played for maybe like an hour or 2.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So like I'd probably have to go with Wizarding World, at least just in terms of time I've put in.
Sure.
But like Zelda's gonna easily walk away with this one. I mean, there's no like.
Yeah, and Zelda, I've invested a whole heck of a lot of time into Zelda games. So
as have many people, and they've grown up with it and they still love it. So
okay, this one is
a weird one.
It is. If this was based on not WWE but WWF, I would say it would be WWF, because the SmackDown games from before 2000, so like the N64 ones, were so good. Some of the best wrestling games ever. And then the WCW Nitro ones, I have played maybe 2 of these games in here, and I hated them. I hate the way they've just do it. Resident Evil, I actually legitimately like Resident Evil 4. I think it's a good game.
We've been on the same page today. 4 is my, like, I don't have a ton of connection with either. I remember playing wrestling games a little bit, like in junior high. I remember we would do some all-nighters at church in junior high, and I remember we would play like Smash Bros, and we would play a wrestling game on the N64. So like I assume that's the ones you're talking about. This
with the taunt stick
before this.
Yeah, you could taunt in the middle. Dude, those games were amazing.
So that's before this. Okay, so if that's before those, then it would be Resident Evil then. Yeah.
Just hold on.
And I don't have a ton of connection. Like I remember, I have a bit of nostalgia there too. Because my uncle actually was the one who introduced me to Resident Evil. I remember him playing the first one at his house. So I have a bit of a memory of like the first Resident Evil game and him playing that. But the one I played, was 4 on the GameCube actually.
Yep. So WWF No Mercy, WrestleMania 2000, and then the WCW NWO and WCW Revenge games. They were all made by the same company. They all felt the same. They all had the same like play style, but man, they were so good. They were just so good.
So if it's different, then I would go Resident Evil, even though like, and I've also debated because I mean like the remakes for like 2 and 3 I've heard are really excellent.
Really good.
So, like I've even debated going and playing those, even though I'm not really into horror games. But
it's not 2 is not a horror game. 2 is a little more. 3 kind of toes the line, but 2 and 4 are kind of in the same sort of like, it's not horror. It's more like creepy, I guess is the word.
Sure.
But and it's not like a lot of jumps. Well, that's not true. There are a number of jump scares. Okay.
I mean, this is an easy one for me because I have no connection to NBA. So for me, this isn't easy for Red Dead. Like Red Dead 1 and 2 are like some of my favorite games ever. So it's not, there's nothing here. I've never played the first one, the like
Red Dead Revolver.
Yeah, I've never played that one, so I don't have that connection.
Yep.
But those two, I've been meaning to go back and play Red Dead Redemption 2 as just like a chill, unwind, go hunting, and then sit by the fire for a bit type of game. I probably have played 1 or 2 of the NBA games, but I'm not an NBA person. I cheer for the Pistons because I cheer for all the Detroit teams, but like
they're doing okay. They're sneaking in the playoffs.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I've never watched a single game of theirs. They're just my team because I chose a team for every sport. So like, I've never seen a single game. But so I have no connection there. So it's easily Red Dead. Red Dead is like, those are some of my favorite games ever.
Need for Speed and Tomb Raider.
And for anyone who's like, because we talked so much about some of the early ones, like at least hopefully like some of these ones we'll get through.
Yes.
And we'll be able to talk some more about some of these ones we're having to go through a little bit faster now.
Yes. Sorry, we're on a time crunch right now.
Yeah. So just because of how it ended up working out, but we'll be able to unpack some of these things more, but you know, it's okay. This is a little tough. I mean, like Need for Speed Underground, like that was, you know, like, you know, the Little John and the Fat Joe and the Lean Back and like the soundtrack for some of those games, like man, just souping up your cars and stuff. That was a good time.
Come on.
But I really like the new Tomb Raider franchise, like the most recent trilogy. I thought was really excellent. I don't know what I would do for this one. I might go Tomb Raider just because I have the, like, I enjoyed playing Underground at the time. But like I'm much more of a single player, like narrative RPG or like narrative adventure game kind of person than a racing game person. So I would probably go Tomb Raider, even though I don't have a ton of attachment to the old ones, but mostly just the new trilogy.
Sure. Need for Speed is less of a racing game and more of like a car. I'm gonna say this word, car porn game. That's what it is. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Car culture, car whatever.
Yeah, so I'm going Need for Speed. I only liked I never even liked the old Tomb Raiders. I liked the new trilogy, but really only the first one. The second one was good. The third one I didn't like really at all.
It was diminishing returns. The third one was the weakest one. Yeah. I agree.
I mean,
this is one of those ones that snuck in because it's a soccer game, so like they sold a ton of copies. Like I had heard of it because this got renamed. The eFootball got renamed to this like relatively recently. I forget what the previous. I think it was. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
PES soccer or whatever.
Yeah, Pro Evo.
So yeah, I mean, Star Wars Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast. Anyone?
Dark Forces.
The
original Dark Forces. All the Rebel Assault. KOTOR.
Empire at War.
Empire at War. TIE Fighter. X-Wing. Come on. There's a
Battlefield 2, like the old one.
Battlefront. Yeah.
Oh, Battlefront. Battlefront. You're right.
Yeah.
Battlefront 2.
Yeah, the original one before they encrapified it. Yeah, absolutely. Madden and Monster Hunter is our final one, and this is an interesting one to me.
Yeah, I have no connection to Monster Hunter, so sorry, I went over you there.
No.
I have no connection to Monster Hunter, so this one for me, like, and I've played Madden and enjoyed it, so even though, like, I agree with a lot of the complaints that they're kind of just the same game recycled and they take something away to give it back to you 4 years later, like they did you a favor, but like, I would probably have to go Madden.
I had never heard that. That's fantastic.
That's what they do. They'll take away a feature that everyone liked or a game mode everyone likes. then they'll wait like 3 years. They'll bring it back and they'll be like, "Look at this new feature we added. Everyone's
truck
looking
stick.
forward to it."
It's like, back.
It's like, yeah, we liked it before, and you took it away for no reason, just so you could bring it back. Like, whatever.
QB Vision sucks.
I would still go with Madden though, because I just have no connection to Monster Hunter.
My connection to Monster Hunter didn't start until Monster Hunter World. I did play a lot of Monster Hunter World. I've been thinking about jumping into the Monster Hunter Wilds thing. I think I'm going to wait until the price goes down, because it will. And I don't know how much of it I'm going to play. Plus, like, Civ 7 is taking up a lot of my time still. And because Civ 7 is a fantastic game. Monster Hunter Wilds looks good, but like I don't share. This is going to sound very culturally inappropriate, and I don't mean it to. I don't share killing kaiju, like that fantasy. I don't share that fantasy like a lot of people do, where they want to see their small little person killing kaiju. It's fun. Monster Hunter World was fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed partying up and doing the things. I enjoyed all of it. I've watched a couple of guys from our server, Bougie in particular, and Vindis playing Monster Hunter Wilds, and it looks awesome. It just looks so cool. But like, do I want to pay $70 and invest the amount of time when I could be playing Civ? Even like, and this is a sad state of affairs. I would rather play WoW Classic Hardcore than play Monster Hunter, and that says something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. This is I've never even played any of it ever. I've never tried it. So like, I have no negative feelings towards it. I just don't.
Yeah. Nothing negative. I mean, I'm gonna buy my 3DS. Just crap the bed, and so I'm gonna end up having to buy before the tariffs land. I'm gonna buy another 3DS, which like I got to do within 2 days, because tariffs land in 2 days. Well, 3 days. Sorry. So I got to buy another one of them from wherever, but. And so I'm going to install one of the Monster Hunters on there just to play. I don't know which one, because I want a taste of the old school Monster Hunter. But like, out of these, I've had a lot of fun with Madden over the years. Back when it was like original Madden, especially like on the computer, John Madden's Ultimate Football and stuff like that on the PC was real good. It's just, Madden is a known quantity. It's just they're going to put one out. They're going to sell 30 million copies or 5 million copies or where the heck they're going to sell. And they're just going to, it's like FIFA. They just know, like, there's just a set bar that they're going to sell this many copies. It's going to be this type of game. It's going to get these type of reviews. Wash and rinse and repeat.
Yep.
There we go. I sent it. You too can vote along with us. We will devote more time to talking about this, especially as the winners come through. If you thought we had a lot of thoughts, almost an hour's worth of video game thoughts right now, just wait until later, my friends. Because those battles will heat up. If some of those battles go through the way that they could be going through, we could see a Halo versus Madden at some point, which would be a lot of fun, because I think Halo would wipe the floor with Madden. Just trash it.
It would.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else before we wrap this episode up, Templar?
I think it's all been said. So
we've said a lot.
We appreciate you hanging out for so long.
Welcome to bracket season.
With us.
This is what we do in bracket season.
This is it. Welcome to it. So come on this journey with us. Please vote. Contribute. We appreciate it. Come join the Discord if you haven't already.
Yes,
come hang
please.
out. It's a good time.
Yes.
And that's it for me. So awesome. I'm gonna go lie down.
Yeah. Try not to suffocate in your own neck juices. That grossed me out. Until next time, we will see you then. We love you. Goodbye.